Evening guys, KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Got a few things we're going to talk about tonight, and got a subject we're going to talk about. Number one, thanks to all who subscribed to my 1,700 subscriber giveaway. We got another week left on it. We're going to give it away next Saturday night's video. Appreciate it. We'll ask y'all, remind you of something. Send me an email with your name, address, and call sign if you got one. Even though if you've entered in my previous giveaways, because once I do a giveaway, I get rid of everything, so I'll make a chance of nothing else getting mixed up with a new one. I'd have to go back through a ton of emails to find some of y'all's stuff. So please, even though you've entered in the past, I like to be on a first name basis with all of you, but always include your name, address, and call sign. I appreciate it. And my wife told me I had to address something with y'all. My last video, the yellow and white tomcat jumped up in my lap, and I said that was her cat. Well, it's our cat. My wife kind of made a cat lover out of me 15 years ago. We got married. But old Indy's 10 years old, ham radio cat. And we had a pair of calico female sisters, full sisters, for 14 years, and both of them have since passed. And my wife got lucky. She got this matched pair of yellow and white tomcat full brothers, and they're little, about a year old, still got a lot of kittening in them. So, but she want me to tell y'all they're our cats, not her cats. So anyway, that is what it is. I appreciate it. Guys, if you saw a picture at the intro with the intro stuff that I sent down in here, there was a picture of a guy holding some stuff we'd give away. That was Curtis Allen, KJ5DYQ. That was some stuff we donated to the Baptiste School Club. Him and Brian Wall, who had a previous picture in an earlier video, and I'm going to get one with some stuff we sent his school too. Both of them have school clubs in Oklahoma, both members of McCurtain Amateur Radio Club, and both these guys are sponsors of ham clubs, one in Baptiste School District and other in Eagletown. Congratulations, guys. We'll help you any way we can. Appreciate the work y'all are doing with the kids. I really do. Dad's still hanging in there. Been busy with him this week, but all in all, been a good week. We got some storms coming in. Got a subject we're going to talk about tonight, and I've kind of talked about this subject in the past. In fact, I did a whole video on it. And I want to relink that video in the description here in case anybody didn't see it. After we talk about it, you might want to watch it. But it concerns ECHOLINK. And this guy made a good post, but Lord, he got hammered for what he said, and this was in one of the friendlier Facebook pages. I know some people are hesitant to become a ham radio operator due to the cost of equipment. With that being said, startup cost is not as expensive as you may think. If you own a cell phone, you can download ECHOLINK, and with a tech license, you can talk to people around the world. Then, if you think ham radio is something you would like to do, then you could look at inexpensive 2-meter radio to get you started. But I must warn you, it can be addictive and expensive. Good luck in your future endeavors, and welcome to ham radio. I thought that was a very good post. A lot of guys really come out of the woodwork that ECHOLINK's not RF. If you're not putting RF into the wire, you're not doing it, and all this stuff. My take on the whole thing is this. I kind of agree that I would rather see you using a radio. I believe you'll learn more down the road. But I've also said, and I will say it again, any mode that amateur radio has that you can access with your amateur license within the limits of your license, by all means do it if you want to do it. And even though the old heads say that that's not real radio, they also say the same thing about FT8, which is radio, but it's a different type of radio. Say the same thing about C4FM, Fusion, DMR, so on and so forth. Anything that uses a cell tower like ECHOLINK and the internet, like the other stuff, they don't think it's real radio. Well, what they forget to mention here is, what they don't take into consideration is this. Anything that's modernized that we can get people interested in, to get them into this hobby, I'm all for it. You take this Open Spot 4 hotspot that I use with an FT70 Yaesu to access Fusion repeaters. I don't even have to have a radio to use this, I found out. I got the app on my phone that I can go into my app and use my phone as the radio and talk into these same repeaters without having a radio. So who's going to say that's not real radio? I'm still accessing repeaters through C4FM. So don't knock ECHOLINK. A lot of people fail to realize about guys that are using ECHOLINK is this. Have you considered that, number one, like he said, they're new hams starting out and they don't want to see how much money to dump into the hobby right off the bat in case they're not that interested in it. Every one of us carry a cell phone, and probably 90% of us carry a smartphone. I got no problem with them. Get their tech license, get on ECHOLINK, and make some contacts around the world. First ECHOLINK contact I ever made is in Barbados. And on this video I'm going to link on here, when I was explaining ECHOLINK, I was talking to a guy, I think in Australia or New Zealand, but I'm pretty sure it was Australia. So they get a chance to talk to some people around the world and kind of listen, learn a little bit about radio, but they're using their phone. Also, you got guys that may live in apartment buildings where they can't have an antenna. Oh, excuse me. Or restricted neighborhoods, budgetary concerns. They may be handicapped where they can't get out and physically put an antenna up. This gives them a chance to enjoy some form of ham radio. So do not deter a new guy from ECHOLINK. Tell them about it. That's a good way to get them in the door and get them thinking about radio. And if they decide to get an HF rig later, there's plenty of avenues we can help them get on HF down the road. I've got several videos on here where I've talked about how to buy used gear. So just the main thing, don't dissuade anybody from getting into this hobby or staying in this hobby because they may use a mode that you don't like. There's lots of stuff on ham radio that I don't do. I'm not a big fan of the low bands, but I'm not going to knock anybody for getting down on the low bands. I just don't go down there much. I personally not a big fan of formal nets. Not going to knock anybody checks into a net. Same thing with ECHOLINK. If you don't like ECHOLINK or you don't think ECHOLINK's real radio, don't do it. It's real simple. I've even had to tell a couple of people this in some Facebook groups who thought my videos were dumb. Told one guy I didn't realize it come with an auto play function. If you don't want to watch my video, don't watch it. Same thing with any mode in amateur radio. Anything you don't want to do, don't do it. Just don't knock another guy for trying it out. And if ECHOLINK will help them guys get interested in radio, I'm all for it. Besides that, time they've jumped through the hoops to get on Logbook of the World and get on ECHOLINK, as far as I'm concerned, they've proved their worth of getting in ham radio. Guys, Richard's got a bunch of end of the year sales going on up there at MTC. Be sure and get signed up for his emails. You'll get a lot of access to sales early by knowing about them ahead of time instead of just waiting for them to come out on Facebook. Guys, I appreciate everybody subscribe to the channel. We'll do that giveaway here next Saturday night. Probably got another video later this week. I'll come up with something, but going to cut it short for tonight. I'm running kind of late. Had to go down there and help Dad get ready to hit the sack. Y'all have a great week. It's KB5 MIQ Big Boy 73.